But a lot of people, they know your value. They just hoping you don't know. They just want to play your
Oh
ass
my
and
God.
play your
I
ass.
can't stress enough how important it is to know your worth.
And stand on it. Stand on it.
Because first of all, the company, I don't care what company you work for and how much of a family they say y'all are.
The work is never your family.
Business is there to make money. And they are there to get as much out of you
for as little
money as they can possibly give you. So you need to know your worth. You need to speak up for yourself when it comes to your pay. If you do not feel like you are being paid what you are worth, go find something that will pay you what you are worth if you know your company is not going to give it to you. All right, let's go ahead and get into the weekly Reddit.
Always fun.
Always fun. I love a weekly Reddit. And also, before we get into the weekly Reddit, I wanted to just ask the viewers or the people that's a part of the tribe, if you have stories that you want us to, give a perspective on, please send them to us. We're trying to get more engagement from everyone.
Yes.
Speaking of engagement, this week I did message 5 of our followers.
Yes.
And ask them if they could give us, just recommendations on things that they want to hear us talk about. And surprisingly, I got responses from 4 of the 5 followers.
Good feedback too. Good feedback.
I was very surprised. So thank you all for that. So actually, this episode is about one of the topics that one of the followers recommended, and it was our follower on TikTok, and her name is so fun. I love her. It's Spooky Black Girl.
Love it.
Spooky Black Woman, I believe.
Love it.
And I was just like, I said,
Love it.
oh, what kind of stuff is she into?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out her TikTok.
She seems interesting.
But she wanted us to talk about things centered around jobs. She recommended maybe reading a couple of Reddit posts about people leaving their jobs. So this probably will be a 2-part topic. So today we're going to talk about all things burnout and all that good stuff. And maybe the next one we'll talk about, do some Reddit stories about people leaving their jobs.
And they don't even need Reddit stories because you got plenty. You know I leave.
You got plenty.
You know I will go.
Your car's always warmed up.
Resume hot. Stay ready.
But yeah, so thank you, Spooky Black Woman, for your recommendation. And we will have more from the others that also recommended stuff in future episodes as well. So if you have stories you want us to react to or just give our perspective on, make sure you send them to us. If you got recommended topics, make sure you send those to us as well. We are always looking. Okay. So the weekly Reddit today.
Let's hear it.
So,
yes.
And I apologize. I sound nasally. It's the morning right now, and that is when my allergies are at its worst.
It's springtime. Almost springtime.
Almost. Daylight saving.
I don't feel bad. I feel like I would feel more tired. I don't.
But anywho, the title of this Reddit post is, should I tell my best friend's boyfriend she is having an affair?
Ooh, sticky.
So it says, my best friend has been in a 9-year relationship with her boyfriend, and they are currently and have been long distance for the past few years. She is moving back to live with her boyfriend in 3 weeks, and from what she has told me, he is planning on proposing to her in the near future, as he has booked them both a surprise 3-week holiday in about a month.
Ooh. Okay.
I would love that.
Me too.
Who got that kind of vacation time?
I don't.
You get 2 weeks max.
Where's she work at? Anywho.
Anywho, yesterday she told me she has been sleeping with one of our mutual friends for about 3 months now, and although they are casual, her words, she spends most of her time with him and they go on a lot of dates.
So it's a side boyfriend.
Exactly. That's more than.
And then there's somebody she already knows, not even a stranger. That's
which
messy.
Is even worse.
That's messy. Okay.
The past few months, she has been acting very unlike her usual self, i.e., going out a lot, smoking, not caring about work that much. But she has seemed so happy. I just thought she was just trying to enjoy her last few months in the country before she leaves.
Okay.
Which could be as well. So
maybe.
She told me she doesn't plan on telling her almost fiance that she has been cheating on him, and just says that she's going to have to live with this as a secret, because once she goes back, she knows there's no way he could ever find out. I have felt genuinely sick to my stomach ever since she told me, as I know her boyfriend loves her so much. His parents even gave them their house to live in when she goes back.
She don't deserve him. Anywho.
I don't know. I don't know how I can live with knowing she has betrayed him in such a way and has taken a what he doesn't know won't hurt him stance on this. And she honestly shows no sign of guilt whatsoever and is not planning on breaking up with him. I already feel guilty as a couple months ago, I unknowingly covered up a lie for her to him about her location, and he obviously needs to know. But I don't know how and if I should be the one to tell him, or if I should wait and just see how things play out and maybe their relationship will end anyway.
Honestly, it's not her place to say nothing.
It's not.
It's not. You gonna have to. Your stomach gonna have to be cramping up, girl, because it's not your place. I know it sucks. But it's like not. You will lose your friend. Do you want to lose your friend? Because baby, you about to if you say anything.
That's my thing, and that's what I wanted to say. I wouldn't necessarily say no. I think either way, it's not her place. But I'm not going to say whether she should or shouldn't tell him.
It depends on what she values.
I would say if you tell. It depends on what you feel about this friendship.
That's
if
what
you
I'm saying.
Are okay
depends on what
this,
you value.
If you are okay with this friendship ending,
because it's gonna dissolve once you tell.
Because she's gonna find out that you're the one told. Like, there's just no way around that.
He's gonna tell her.
At this point, if she's only told one other person, the only people that could have told the boyfriend is either
the person she messing with or you.
Exactly.
That's it.
She's going to find out. So if you're okay with the friendship ending, tell him.
But then also my thought is, well, if she plans on never seeing old dude again when she moves to the other country,
then he can't be that good of a friend.
Then it's like, well, maybe she just feels like, I'm not actually engaged yet. And you know how I feel. You were single until you married.
See, I don't agree with that.
But if you had a conversation about y'all both, the thing is, we don't know the private conversations they had about their relationship.
No,
you don't know.
The thing with this one that I think is different from a previous Reddit that we did was...
That one was a mess.
This one has,
she's a genuine friend. She is not...
No, well, this one... According to what she's saying, I'm getting the impression that the friend has told her that the guy doesn't know anything. They're not in an open relationship. The other one, we didn't know.
Because that was a mess.
This one, she's like, yeah, the friend said this secret gonna die with her. So I'm so it wouldn't be a secret if they were in an open relationship.
It's such a conundrum. It's such a... Because it depends. Do you value y'all friendship?
No, or do I'll be honest, if I didn't care about the friendship,
I sing like a canary. Oh, I sing like a canary. But if that's your friend, though.
Here's the other thing. Jay, you couldn't come to me and tell me that you've been cheating on Victor and me not say, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Why? What are you doing?
Like, why would you... Now, I can see if maybe... Now, granted, I don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but based off what I see, I'm like... Why would you do that?
That don't make sense.
Because it's not making sense. I could see if Victor was a complete ass to you, sure. Yeah. Why not?
Because I think that's what her friend is thinking. Like, this man is being him and his family is being so nice to you. What are you doing?
But it also doesn't sound like this friend is telling her anything. You're being a piece of shit by doing
She just having her stomach cramp up.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, girl, say something.
You need to say
her as a friend.
Confront your friend.
And be like, girl, What are you doing this? Think about everything you got to lose.
Exactly.
Versus what you have to gain.
Lose.
If you know that it's just a fling and you don't take it, first of all, it's messy. She chose somebody she knew. That's messy. Which means she been thinking about it for a long time. She can say what she want to say. I just don't understand wasting somebody's time.
And she gonna be making trips home to see family.
To mess around with that man. I just feel like, why waste that other man's time? If he was ready for something real, if you can't provide it, just go.
And I'm sorry, even for the other guy.
You messy too.
No, I'm not even going that route.
He messy too.
But maybe it's different, but for other people. But for me, at least, if I am taking you out on dates, we together. Like, this ain't just casual.
But then there's also the aspect of her boyfriend probably knows this man.
Most likely.
And they all hanging. It's like a movie. And they all hanging out. And she's secretly going in the broom closet and messing around with him and coming out. Fixing a dress.
But my thing is, I can almost guarantee that other guy has feelings involved.
If anything, he gonna tell you. Ain't gotta say nothing. He might end up spilling the beans because he like her.
Yeah.
But it's like, you should have a conversation with your friend. Like, girl, you being real messy.
Nobody is spending that much. Nobody's investing a lot of effort, that much time into somebody that is just casual.
Like, the thing is, she might be lying too. She lying to herself. She lying to her friend. It's like, girl, that's not casual. If y'all been doing this for months and y'all going on actual dates, girl, that is a boyfriend number 2. That is not a casual fling. Y'all going probably out of town on trips, weekend little getaways.
Like, that's not casual. I don't care what anybody says. That is not casual.
Just because you didn't put a title on it don't mean that's casual. That is your boyfriend.
Yeah, at this point, y'all just in denial about what it is. Now, do I think she needs to end the relationship with the fiance? I do.
I think she do. Because it's like, why waste his time? Really, at this point, that's what you're doing.
Let him go find somebody that is more equipped for
because
him,
honestly, if she's at this secret gonna die with me, she gonna do it again. She's going to do it again.
There's no telling how many times she's actually done it. This just might be the first guy that she told the friend about.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah. But I would tell if I didn't care about the friendship ending.
Yeah.
But if I did, no, I wouldn't say anything. But honestly,
it's gonna come to light. Like, she's not gonna be able, especially that man has feelings. The other man has feelings for her. He's not gonna quietly just go away. I don't think he is.
Well, I also have issue with, like, don't get me wrong, my friends can tell me anything, but don't tell me something like that. Don't put that kind of pressure on me. Like, I don't want to be a part of your schemes. I feel you.
Leave me out of your mess.
I don't want to be a part of it.
Because now she knows she messed up shit. You should have never told me. I would have never known that everything would have been fine. But she couldn't. She had to tell somebody. She couldn't keep it in.
Then don't do it.
She had to tell somebody.
Do it. Like,
because she enjoys it. She wants to talk about it. She can say what she want to say. She enjoys it and she want to talk about it.
Then she needs to go find friends that also like that kind of shit. You got friends out here that they be rooting for you.
They will be rooting for you. Like, hey, girl, get away.
I'm not that friend. I don't condone cheating. I don't like it. It's just everything about it is bad in my opinion.
It doesn't make sense.
And it's a waste of everybody's time. Like, you are wasting people's time when you go cheating on people.
Because he thinks that y'all on the road to get engaged. He done got a house set up. Like, he's ready for that next step. And you wasting his time.
Wasted.
Because you just going to do this foolish mess again.
Yep.
You going to do it again.
Yeah, I don't like that
in the new country y'all move to. You going to find some other man at the gelato shop. And you going to do the same thing again.
The gelato shop.
And you going to do the same thing again.
Girl, gelato is so good.
A lemon gelato on a hot day.
Girl. Anyway. Well, that's the weekly Reddit today. She
messy. I feel for her because I know she is truly conflicted. I feel for her. I do.
I don't think she should tell the fiance
if she values her friendship.
If she values the friendship. But at the same time, I'd be on if my friend was to honestly, Jay, if you was to tell me some shit like that, I'd be considering how close of friends we are because I legit would be considering ending that friendship. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. If you willing to do this, what would you do to me? Like
the betrayal, the same thing.
Exactly. So I'd probably start distancing myself from you anyway. So then might as well just go and tell and be done with it then.
Just tell. I mean, it's gonna come to light. She's not gonna be able to hide it. But I feel like she should leak to her friend how she feels like, hey, girl, moving forward, I don't want to hear. Don't you tell me shit about your bullshit. I feel like shit. I feel worse than you do. That should tell you something about yourself. I feel worse than you do about what you doing.
Girl, yeah. So she shouldn't tell him.
It's messed up, but don't tell him. He gonna find out.
As terrible as that sounds, she shouldn't tell him. That's not her business.
It ain't her place.
It ain't her place.
Sucks though.
But she should have an honest conversation with her friend. Be like, look, don't tell me stuff like this no more. I don't want to know about your doings behind your husband.
And then you gonna want me to be in his face, acting like I don't know. He calling me on the phone. I can't do this. He thinks we're friends, which is also part of her because she probably felt she's friends with both of them. It's like I don't know what to do. That's sad.
That is sad.
That's sad.
What would you guys do in that situation? I'm curious because I just I think that adds to. I don't want to be involved in people's drama. I got my own shit.
You want to be messy without by yourself. Me.
Be messy by yourself.
Or find a messy friend that likes it. Don't tell it to me.
I don't mind messiness when it comes to other people's stuff. But not
close to home stuff. No, not close to home.
No, I don't need it involved in my friend groups. No, I'm sorry. No.
Don't tell me. Let me be surprised like everybody's go, he did. What? How dare she? To who? Let me be surprised. Don't you put me in the mess.
Anyway, so that's the weekly Reddit. I had a question for Jay. This is actually going to lead into the viewers'
question
topics.
You got for me?
So I found out a name for millennials.
What is it?
That I didn't know we had.
I didn't know we had one either. What is it?
So did you know that millennials are referred to as the tired generation?
Oh, I heard that.
I just learned that. So
we are tired.
Before we get into that though, I just went through and I asked ChatGPT.
Of course you did.
I said, what other nicknames does the millennial generation have?
I don't want to know. I know they bad. I don't want to know. What is it?
They're not all that bad. So
what are they?
It gave me 14 damn names.
14? Who's coming up with these?
I said, right. I'm like, I thought you was going to give me maybe 2 or 3.
Well, we are the main character.
Some of them did surprise me, though.
Like
some of them I actually agree with.
Give me top 5.
So the ones that surprised me was the snowflake generation. And it says a derogatory term implying
the boomers came up with that.
Implying that millennials are too sensitive and entitled.
Boomers came up with that.
See, I never thought that millennials were sensitive. I have felt that it's about the boomers
and the ones Gen behind Z. Us, baby.
I felt that Gen Z was.
They are I call them to participation group because I'm sick of them.
Funny you should say that.
Oh, I'm sick of them.
Another name for millennials is the participation trophy generation.
No, we're not the ones who started that. Because I didn't have participation trophies. You was the first, second, third, or nothing. There was nothing else.
That one really shocked me.
We didn't get participation trophies.
I said,
maybe they accusing us of being the ones handing them out, and that's how that.
Now that's what I will say. We are the ones handing them out now.
I get
but
it.
I don't think we received them.
No, we did not. But I think a lot of people not receiving them is why they turned to that.
And I'm like,
because you know what?
But I also don't agree with participation. I don't think people should
I think
just because you showed up don't mean you get an award. I'm sorry.
Thank you for your efforts. Try harder.
Somebody got to be number one.
There always has to be for there to be a winner. There has to be a loser. If no one lost, no one won. That's just how I feel. If no one lost, baby, no one won either. Anywho,
I'm sure some people will let us know what they think about the participation trophy thing.
I hate them. I hate them.
I do not like it at all. We're also called the echo boomers.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it says since they are often the children of baby boomers and had a large population surge.
Yeah, we did. It's a lot of us.
I was like, I didn't know. So sometimes when they call us boomers, they probably are actually talking about us instead of actual like boomers. Because anytime somebody has said boomer to me, I thought that they
my mama's age. Yeah.
But I'm like, so you might actually be talking about me then.
Ooh, that's offensive. I don't like that. I was not born in the segregated hospital. Why we broke? Dang, we say we frugal. That's different. We are frugal. Oh my God. Okay.
Reflecting financial struggles due to student loans, stagnant wages, and high living costs.
Everybody's feeling that though. That ain't just us. How dare you? Anywho.
Well, we're the ones that's mainly in the workforce now anyway.
We out there.
I mean, what was it, Gen X? They're on their way out. They're starting to
retiring,
retire. Yeah. So yeah, we're taking up the workforce. So yeah. We are the workforce now.
I feel old.
We are old, Jade.
You know what? How I really felt old? It was a commercial for like rheumatoid arthritis or something crazy. And they had, what song was it? But it was a song geared at us.
Because we're getting old,
I know,
Jade.
I said a rheumatoid arthritis. Now, Tide fine. Dove fine. Arthritis. God.
Well, those are some of the nicknames for millennials that I did not realize that
that's interesting.
We had, but we do.
But I was like, yeah, we are the passers-outers of the participation trophies.
And the one that we're going to dive into today is the tired generation, aka we're also known as the burnout generation.
You know what though?
So
I can see that though.
Oh, 100%.
I can see that.
So when I learned that we were called the tired generation,
I don't like that label, but it's true.
I like it because I think it's a very good description of how a good chunk of millennials
But we have lived through so many crises. So many.
So I looked up why are millennials crowned the tired generation.
I know why.
And it says millennials are called the tired generation because they frequently experience high levels of stress and burnout due to factors like heavy student loan debt, a competitive job market, long working hours, and the pressure to constantly be connected digitally, leading to sleep deprivation and a general feel of exhaustion.
See, I don't think it's all of that though. Okay, so the student loan is because the boomers were fucking greedy and they went to college for $2,000 fucking dollars and they were greedy. And then like the amount they paid for college and homes versus the amount we have to pay for college and homes is like fourfold.
Yeah, but what does our student loan debt have to do with them?
They're the ones who raised it. That's why it's so high. They're the ones who raised, the boomers in charge raised the cost of college. It's really their own fault. But
I don't blame the boomers. I blame politicians and I blame the government
for
that.
Those are the boomers, Jocelyn. They're old. So
yeah, but
they're the problem.
My thing is, I wouldn't necessarily say it's the whole generation.
But then
I think it's more the politicians in our government, because if we look at other countries, they don't have that issue. They choose
not to have. But a lot of colleges are businesses in America. It's not even about educating people. It's not about people. They're businesses.
It's about making money.
They're businesses, and they shouldn't be.
I think that's the issue, because we have a lot of other countries that, you know, the education is just as good, if not better, than the U.S.
And they don't pay nothing or little to nothing.
They don't pay much for school at all. But yet, you know, you got millennials coming out of school
with $100,000 in debt.
I literally had $99,000 worth of student loan debt, just with an accounting degree. I think that is absolutely wild.
So I played the long road, baby. But I'm like, no.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a fair description on how millennials feel. And it's not to say that other generations don't feel that, but
we got the brunt of it, though.
I think millennials did get the brunt of it, because you got to think about it, they don't teach a lot of stuff. When our parents was younger, they don't teach a lot of that stuff in school anymore.
Sure don't. I think we were the last generation of like real home ec. I don't think anybody after us got like real home ec.
I don't even think our generation was. I think Generation X was. I never got home ec.
I did. Yeah, I took sewing classes. We had cooking classes. We didn't have woodworking. We still had all of that.
We didn't have any of that. I didn't even have driver's ed at my schools.
Yeah, I had all that.
No, we didn't have any of that. And we didn't learn how to, you know, take care of finances.
Yeah, we had an entrepreneurship class.
Nope.
Senior year.
And entrepreneurship isn't finance.
They rolled it into one.
So I had an entrepreneurship class, but that is business. That's not personal finance.
See, mine was ours. They called it entrepreneurship, but I guess it was taking over the business of you. So it was stuff like how to open a bank account, how to read a check, how to write a check. It was like the business of you type thing, I guess.
Yeah. So I didn't get all that in school. Now, my mother did teach me some things, you know, how to read a check, how to write a check, how to open up a bank account, the basics for like saving money, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we learned that entrepreneurship class.
But how to truly manage my finances, my personal finances.
My mama wasn't good at that. So how's she gonna teach me?
Exactly.
She didn't have that control
taught
herself.
It, so how were we supposed to be taught it if school didn't teach us?
Life had to teach me how to get it.
Literally,
because the early 20s, my credit was shit because I didn't know, and I view credit cards as free money.
Here's the thing with it, because I have thoughts on credit.
View that shit as free money.
I am not somebody that thinks that you need to have credit. There are a lot of people that do believe it, but I've seen too many examples of people with credit scores of 0 that have their houses, they have everything, but you know what they're doing? They're paying for everything with cash because they did everything they needed to do to make sure they were successful enough that they didn't need
but
credit.
The thing, a lot of people don't have the self-discipline for that lifestyle. Exactly. And they just don't.
So it kind of annoys me when people say, oh, but you need credit.
You don't. If you want to buy a car, you can save up your money, go to a dealership and buy a car in cash and roll clean on out. You don't have to make a payment. You don't need
credit. Now, can credit make it easier for you to get stuff financed? 100%.
But that's if you want to get it financed. If you want to buy everything in cash, you can buy everything in cash.
You can.
People don't want people using cash because they can't trace nothing you're doing if everything is in cash. That's just the truth. But yeah.
So I thought that was a really interesting thing about millennials that I didn't know. And when I read it, I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense because, you know, I'm going through that right now with my current job.
But then they play us though. Like the job. We'll say this for the job segment. We'll say this for the job segment because I have thoughts.
So me digging into burnout, it started to bring up a bunch of questions. So then I'm like, okay, I always view burnout as like it's just stress, but it's not.
It's psychological.
Burnout burnout is stress, but it's not. So it's one of those situations where not all stress is burnout, but all burnout is stress.
Yep.
And it says stress is a short-term response to pressure, while burnout is a long-term state of exhaustion that can occur when stress is not managed.
It's long-term stress and never leave, because stress is supposed to be a temporary thing. It's not supposed to be you've been stressed for 5 years, baby. That's not.
I would go even further to say that burnout is more than just that, because
it's like just emotional exhaustion. Like it's so much.
I'll use me as an example. It's not that the stress wasn't being or isn't being managed.
It keeps coming back though.
It's just that I don't mind the stress. I know a certain level of every job is going to require stress,
some sort of stress.
But when I discuss these things with the people that can help me relieve some of that stress and nothing happens, to me, that's what leads to burnout. It's not just the stress, because I'm trying to get out of it. It's just I need the people that actually has the authority to do that to help me.
And they don't.
There. And when I feel like that's not happening and not even being considered, that's when I start to feel burned out. It's like, okay, because now it's already a weight on me. You just made that weight even heavier because now I feel like I don't have that support system. A lot of people can deal with burnout if they feel supported.
Yeah.
But when they stop feeling supported, it's like that becomes too heavy to deal with.
Most people feel unsupported, and that's really what it is. They feel unsupported. They like, okay, I done already told you what the issues were.
But that's why I say I think burnout is more than just unmanaged stress.
But it's more than work though too. It's just in life though. It's not just work.
That's actually what I learned. And in the next episode is when we're going to talk about another type of burnout.
Yeah, because it's not just work.
We're going to talk about another type of burnout that I don't think anybody ever considers, because I know I didn't.
And I know I probably do, because I probably got it. But it's all right. It's all right.
But yeah, so Yeah, that's the difference between stress and burnout. And stress is supposed to be a temporary thing. But like I said, it just brought up so many questions. So for you, like, it's hard for me to ask you this question because you leave jobs so quickly. I don't think you ever really get the burnout.
Well, no, it's only recently. Up until recently, I stayed at all my jobs like 4 years.
Okay. So,
up until COVID, and people lost their mind. Oh, the vid, and everybody lost their mind.
So how do you recognize burnout? How do you recognize it before it becomes to the point where it's like, I have to leave this place? How do you recognize that this is happening and I need to get ahead of it before it turns into
It's already
burnout?
What you said. When I see problems and I go, okay, first you go, okay, I can fix it. Then you roll with the problem. And then the problem escalates because you just patched it. You didn't fix it. And then you go, real fixing this problem involves other people. That's not just me. So let me go. And then when I feel that lack of support is really when I go, okay, two can play this goddamn game. You don't want to support me, baby, I ain't supporting you either. Exactly. And that's just...
It is literally just that simple.
Because, every time, if I do leave somewhere, I have a valid reason. And it all stems from me discussing a concern. And them going, we heard you, but we don't care. And I go, okay. All right. And then it's like you said, it's the feeling unsupported.
Yeah.
Because it's all you can manage if you feel like we working on this together. We're going to stop. You go, okay, we can get through this. Because work is a relationship. And people need to take that serious. It's a relationship.
It is. It 100% is. So I agree with you. For me, burnout, when I know that I'm already burned out or I'm in the beginning phase of burnout, I know it's happening because I just don't want to go to work.
Yeah,
I just don't want to
go. Ain't go. You wake up and you just staring at the ceiling like, I don't even want to get dressed. I don't want to pack no lunch. I don't want to drive over there. I don't.
And you sit in your car. Oh my God, the last company that I worked for.
Sit in your car crying.
I never sat in the car crying, but I remember sitting in my car for at least half an hour before I got out that car.
Because you talking yourself into going inside.
I was like, God, I don't want to go in there.
And I know how you feel.
I was like, ugh.
But that's burnout. You like, just the thought that sometimes just the thought of going would exhaust me. Just the thought of knowing I'm exhausted. I ain't even, because I know it's gonna be BS when I walk inside.
So here's for people that struggle to recognize burnout. Here is, and now granted, don't be talking about, oh, Jocelyn said that I'm burned out because of these. This is literally just a quick Google search for me. So this is what Google said.
Let's see.
Signs that how to recognize burnout: headaches, back pain, etc.
Stress pains.
Right, exactly. Insomnia or frequently waking up in the middle of the night.
Stress.
Frequent illnesses. Changes in appetite and weight.
That aren't, planned.
Exactly.
Unplanned.
Reduced productivity / performance. Procrastination and difficulty concentrating. Increased substance use. Withdrawal from social activities. And neglecting personal hygiene and appearances.
I don't know about the last one. I ain't never been that stressed.
Well, I don't think all of them supposed to
apply. I feel like, because I still am showered in perfume no matter how much I hate
just
but that's what they saying. It's something that can happen. It can happen.
Could be a sign.
Because it's all of them. You like, you don't want to, you procrastinating because you didn't want to do it in the first place. You don't want to do it. You feel like it's a waste of your time because what
and I know when I first added a second job, and this wasn't necessarily burnout. It was me just being too busy. I was sick a lot that first year.
Yeah, because you stressed, man.
But the reduced productivity and performance, the procrastination, difficulty concentrating. Oh, I go through those on a daily right now. Because I'm just like, ugh.
No, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Not nothing.
Not my circus, not my monkeys. When I start having that mindset, that's how I know. I'm like, not my circus,
I
not
got my own
monkeys.
Circus and monkeys to maintain, and people keep trying to bring more monkeys and more.
I'm out of leashes. I'm out.
They ain't even just trying to bring more monkeys. They trying to bring in
lions and bears.
And I'm just like, hold on, this ain't that kind of circus over here.
Then you got to keep the lions from the monkeys. And like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah, so if you have some of those, have a conversation with yourself and you decide if it's actually burnout. Don't say, like I said, don't quit your job, and when shit goes to shit, be messaging us talking about some you said.
No, first of all, you should have a new one lined up. Don't come at me. But cause you know I don't.
That's what I was like.
But it takes me all of 3 days to get a new one. It don't take that long.
That's why you said make sure you have another one lined up.
Like, for other people, it takes them months, sometimes even a year. It don't take me that long.
Well, I also think it depends on what kind of job you're looking for too. Pharmacy tech jobs aren't that hard to find.
Because I ain't even
administrative jobs aren't that hard to find. Now, I will say this. I think that like if I were to start looking for another job, it probably would take me a nice little minute because I'm looking for something that's probably super niche.
Something that's people niche, you're not gonna just quit one day. You're not gonna just quit one day. That's why I said,
like, if you have like,
that's why I said look for a job while you still there. I didn't say just leave. No, look for, and also it doesn't take me a while because I start looking before I leave. So as soon as I start feeling annoyed, it technically be taking me much longer than it seems. It's just soon as I'm annoyed, I'm already on Indeed. Like, okay, I feel like this ain't gonna work, and I'll be on Indeed for a good month before I leave. So
well, that's actually the next thing is quitting. So quiet quitting. I have thoughts on quiet quitting. What are your thoughts on quiet quitting before we really get into it?
It really depends on your situation, because the thing is, it has been being done for a long time. It just didn't have a name.
Right.
It's always been done because you just you don't care about the job no more. That's all it is. You just don't care.
So,
and of course, there's retaliation. Of course, everybody has their non-retaliation little policies, but you still get retaliated against for the most part. If a lot of people know that if people know you're gonna leave, depending on the job and how serious they take the policy. Because that happened to me one time. I put in my notice and they told me to leave after I put in the damn notice. So
see, I don't have an issue with that. Every office job I've ever had.
But I also feel like it depends on your role. Now, if you have an important role, you can't quiet quit. You have to be honest about it. Like if you're at an entry level position, minding your business, fine. You ain't gonna tell nobody nothing. But if you're like management or something, you should let them know so they can find somebody to replace you.
Well, here's what quiet quitting is. The practice of doing only the bare minimum required in a job, strictly adhering to one's job description and avoiding any extra work or ongoing or going above and beyond. Essentially disengaging from your work beyond the basic responsibilities without formally leaving the position. Often a response of feeling undervalued, overworked, and or burnt out. It essentially means not quitting your job, but quitting the idea of going above and beyond at work. So
a lot of people do that.
But here's the thing. If that's the definition of it, then a lot of people that have no intentions of quitting their job do that.
Because at the end of the day, as long as you're meeting the minimum requirements, they can't even fire you over. All they can do is be mad because you still are meeting all the requirements of the job.
There are people, even at my current job, that I feel just does their job.
And get rewarded for it.
And gets rewarded for it. And that goes for both jobs that I work at.
And you like them.
So I'm like,
they pick and choose who they have expectations from. But then I discovered though, the people that they're able to do it because they were never exceptional in the first place. Like, I'm not even being funny. That's the truth.
It just sounds so harsh.
It's true. Actually, it's a tactic people use.
I know. It just sounds harsh to the ears, but it is true.
They were never great, and they never wanted to be great, and they never made an effort to be great. And so it's like...
So why do you think people, when they're quiet quitting, why do you think they just decide, I'm just going to do the bare minimum?
Because they did want to be great. And then they seen how they were treated while putting efforts in. And then said, no, forget y'all.
Honestly, I think the people that quiet quit are the ones that were your great workers. And for some reason, whatever the reason is, they just feel beat down to the point where they're just like, you know what? I'm gonna come here, do my job, and I'm gonna go home. That's it.
Because they see all the people meeting the bare minimum rising, or even meeting them where they're at. And I'm thinking, I'm doing way more work than you. We should not be equals. And stuff like that is what makes people go, no, you doing literally a third. But that third is what they've been doing this whole time. So when they get their review isn't bad. They never did more. And they technically met
that's the thing
all the requirements.
That's one of the things that kind of ticks me off is companies will have these titles.
They reward them.
And then they want everybody in that title to be making around the same amount. But they're not considering the fact that even though y'all have the same title, y'all are doing, one person with your title is doing 75% of the work and the other one is doing 25% of the work. So why are they making the same amount of money?
Because they got the same title, and that's the loophole.
And that's crazy. That's wild.
Because they pay people based off of job titles and education. That's it, and that's all. They don't pay them for anything else.
So with quiet quitting, I was wondering what you thought it was. If you think that, now I know with quiet quitting, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're looking for another job. They could just be
they just have demoted themselves emotionally.
Yes.
To just, they say,
do you think that the ones that stay, do you think that it's because of a sense of loyalty? Or is it just going through the motions?
It's just going through the motion, because they, obviously, if they reach that point, they're already stressed in life. There's some people, they like, even though the job annoys me, I'm not emotionally in the mood to learn a new one, because that's a lot of work. It's a lot of effort. You're basically new for an entire year. Do you feel like emotionally putting that much work in right now? Sometimes they don't. Right. And they go, well, if I could just meet the minimum requirements, I dare them to fire me. But thing is, they will be mad at you because you've given more. And if you scale back, they're missing something. Them other people ain't nothing to miss. They never gave them anything to miss. But they gonna miss it. And now they're going to be mad and say, your performance is down.
True.
Very true. So you gotta be careful with that. If you don't plan on leaving, don't be doing that.
So then you're never really just meeting the expectations,
because your expectations are higher now.
You have chosen to just stay where their expectations were and not exceed those.
But you were already exceeding, so now is a downgrade.
You're not exceeding their expectations.
You're below
exceeding their your job description. You're meeting their expectations now. They just don't have any higher expectations.
But now compared to last year, now your reviews are going to suck. Because last year you was doing A, B, C, D, E, and F, G. And now you're only doing A, B, and C. So now they
doesn't necessarily mean your review would go down, because those expectations just aren't going higher.
I'm telling you. They do everything based off of personality too. Then they go, well, we feel like you're disengaged. Just go mess with your pay and over silly shit that has nothing to do with what you were hired to do.
Then, in my opinion, if that's the case, then the person that's quiet quitting just doesn't know how to act then.
I'm like, just go.
Because you can quiet quit and you can quiet quit
without being a hold up in your office or in your cube. You can still talk to people.
What I meant by your review wouldn't necessarily be like below meets expectations.
No, because it won't be. You're still meeting.
You're still meeting their expectations, and their expectations are still high for you. So you're still doing above what your job description says. You're just not trying to make their expectations any higher.
Because you're not trying to climb anymore. You don't care no more.
You're not trying to climb anymore.
You don't care about the big boss seeing you. Okay. You don't care. Don't see me. Don't care.
don't see me.
Don't care. Put your sunglasses on when you walk by me.
I wear my sunglasses at night. That's the song I'll be singing. Girl, it's all 1960s, 1970s.
But like it's just you felt like you was putting in the work, and but a lot of people, they know your value. They just hoping you don't know. They just want to play your ass ass.
I can't stress enough how important it is to know your worth.
And stand on it.
Because first of all, the company, I don't care what company you work for and how much of a family they say y'all are.
The work is never your family.
Business is there to make money. And they are there to get as much out of you for as little money as they can possibly give you. So you need to know your worth. You need to speak up for yourself when it comes to your pay. If you do not feel like you are being paid what you are worth, go find something that will pay you what you are worth if you know your company is not going to give it to you.
And let them know that you're underpaid. Don't even just be secretly mad. Like, let them know. You be like, well, we have the internet now, and I know that I am 20,000 under where I am supposed to be, and I'm gonna need y'all to either hem up or I'm just gonna go.
And you have that right. And I do think that
Mm-mm.
part of quiet quitting is part of it is people for some reason have this sense of loyalty to these companies.
For what?
Especially when they've been there for a long time. They be like, oh, but I've been here so long and I love the people that work here and I actually really like the company. But
they don't like you back. They don't like
exactly,
you
if they are
back.
not willing to do for you what you
Mm-hmm.
feel you are
Ask you.
worth, and that doesn't necessarily mean money wise. That could
It could
be
just be lightening
work
up the
life
load,
balance.
and
That could be your
extra
workload.
PTO. Like it don't
Exactly.
even have to be.
They could just drop you a bonus every once in a while. Like there's so many things that tells people that they are valued to a company.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't feel valued at your company, why are you there? Don't have more loyalty to a company
Then they
than they
have to
have for
you.
you. And I can guarantee you, as much as I think that the company that I work for would not just fire me, I know if they had to,
They would.
they'd be like, well, look like you're gone, Jocelyn.
Sorry to see you go.
And where's my notice? Where's my 2-week notice that I'm about to be laid off?
And that's how I feel about when I resign. If I don't give a 2-week notice, baby, I didn't have to, because if you was gonna fire me, I wouldn't get 2 weeks to find a replacement. You would just tell me, oh, yeah, and then a lot of times they do in the middle or end of the day. I have witnessed it.
I have
Witnessed
witnessed
that. You be like, so you had this girl work till 2 p.m. She been here since 8. But you wanted her to get that report done. See, before she left.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a part of quiet quitting that a part of it is just they feel this connection with the company and they feel loyal to it because I mean same thing with relationships. Why people stay in relationships that they know should end because they've invested so much time
and
in
you know
it.
how I feel. Just because you
like,
invested, so don't mean you have to waste more time because of the
sure
time you
doesn't.
already wasted. Just move.
Like just let it go. Now again, not saying everybody needs to go out there and quit their
We're
jobs.
not encouraging everybody just quit their job. That ain't what we're saying. That's not what we're saying.
We are suggesting that people actually have a long look in the mirror at themselves and be like, look, what am I doing here? Am I happy at this job? Does my career goals even align
with
what
here.
I'm doing here anymore? Because maybe it doesn't.
But I think you should have a conversation with upper management, though. If you feel like there is injustice in any way, you shouldn't just be hoarding that to yourself. You should let somebody know.
I will say this. I both agree and disagree. I think if you feel that there is a good chance
that
you want to stay at that company,
you
want to stay at the company, you love the people you work with, you love the job that you do, yes, give upper management a chance to fix whatever issues you have, whether that be with your pay, your workload, the people you work with, whatever it is. Give them the opportunity to fix it. Don't blindside them. However, we know we have some managements out there that once they find that information out, once they know that you have some kind of issue, now all of a sudden you on their hit list.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yes. Now I've gotten lucky in my past that I have not, every job that I've ever had, when I started looking for another job, my direct manager knew I was looking for a new job. I told him. Now I got lucky in that sense. Now I have
some people have petty management and you can't do that.
And the only one, actually that's a lie. There was one manager I didn't tell that I was looking for another job. And it wasn't necessarily I was looking for another job. I was just trying to transfer.
And that was amazing.
And it was when I was leaving Chicago and coming to Indiana. And I had scheduled an interview. Well, didn't have an interview scheduled. I wanted to come to Indiana so that I could just go around looking for jobs, filling out applications and stuff.
Yeah.
And I put in the time off, and we had a policy that if you wanted time off, you needed to ask for it 2 weeks in advance, which most companies have that policy. So I did, and I think it was actually more than 2 weeks out. And I put it on the thing. Manager denies it. And when I asked her why she denied it, She said, because I'm the manager, and I said no.
Girl, that ain't how that work. You gotta have a valid reason to deny my request.
Instantly, because she couldn't stand me because everybody in that pharmacy loved me. And I called the director, the regional director for CVS.
She playing with me.
And told him what she said. And he said, you will have those days off. And he called her and made her give me those days off.
Because you can't do that, girl.
I was like, I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this place. For her to think she gonna treat me like that?
Think not.
No. So no, she wasn't a manager that I could just go and be like, yeah, I've decided to start looking.
Yeah.
She wasn't that type of manager. But luckily, every manager after that, I knew that if they knew that I was looking for another job, and I'll say this, because literally one of my managers told me this before. I care more about you as a person than I do as an employee.
And that's nice.
Find you a manager that thinks of you like that.
Rare, but find
I think of you. I think I care about you more as a person than an employee. So I'm like, so he doesn't care. I mean, he cares that I'm looking for another job, but he's like, you gotta do what's best for you.
And sometimes this ain't it. And that's fine.
And this might not be it.
It was 5 years ago, and now things have changed, and it's not what you need anymore. And sometimes life is like, it's not even personal. You might not even hate the job. You just go, you know what, for what I want to do moving forward,
that's why I don't think
this role works for me.
with yourself and asking yourself, am I happy where I am? Does it align with my current career goals now? Because when you first started the job, you might have been on one track, and then now 7, 8, 10 years later, you're like,
I want to. Maybe you were single with no kids or nothing when you started, and now you got work-life balance is way more important to you now than what it was before.
And that's the other thing.
It's things like that.
And this makes it more important when it comes to like money and stuff, because when you started that job, you didn't have kids, you didn't have a spouse, you didn't have any of this other stuff. Now you do, and it's like, but your pay is kind of stagnant.
You had a $600 Mazda in a studio apartment. You were able to make it. Now times have changed. You got a mortgage, you got car notes, you got daycare, you got to go.
I'm sorry, if your job isn't keeping up with the changes in your life, which honestly it can't be expected to an extent. It should keep up with the cost of living.
Yeah, they should be keeping up with market.
but it doesn't need to keep up with your life. If it no longer it aligns with your life,
find somewhere that does,
and your goals, you are completely capable of going and finding something that does, or you can create something that does. Create a business. Who said you have to go work for somebody else?
Do whatever you want to do.
There are so many people that create businesses and have successful businesses that they are able to take care of their families and be their own bosses. I'm like,
you can do what you want to do.
You have so many options. Do not sit in burnout.
Don't do it.
Like, I mean, yes, sit in burnout for a little bit while you're figuring
out what you're gonna do. Yeah, figure out what you're gonna do.
Don't sit in burnout. Don't be at a company for 7 years quiet quitting. Like, cause
that's silly. That's silly.
That's wasting everybody's time.
My thing is, quiet quitting is a temporary thing. You cannot be quiet quitting for 3 years. That is not quiet quitting. You might as well just leave. You might as well just leave. To me, quiet quitting is 6 months or less. Quiet quitting is not longer than that. It's not longer than that. But I'll tell you, that strategy of starting off low, I tell you, it's annoying, but baby, it's genius because it works.
Starting off what?
Starting off low.
Oh, that's said
it. You know, and then it's a win-win for them, because if they want to do more, it's appreciated. If they want to stay where they at, it's still appreciated. They ain't got nothing to lose. I can't do it though, because if I see a problem, I know I can solve. I have to.
It's like,
I can't ignore it. I can't. I must fix it. I must. I'll be in there reorganizing the dang stock closet, and I don't even work over there. Just stupid shit.
Girl, have you seen me in the grocery store? I walk past an unkept shelf, and I'm just like, okay, well, this needs to be stood up. This needs to be stood up.
I don't work here.
And it's like, okay, Jocelyn, you don't make money,
especially in the frozen section. These people are wild.
I'm the person. I had to stop myself yesterday because I was in a hurry, and I went to put a cart You know how Meyer has the small carts and the big carts, and
they all just combobulated.
Somebody had a large cart in the small
messing
cart
up all
thing,
the rotation,
and I was just like, I really want to fix this, but that large cart is like
in
6
the middle.
carts
Yeah, it's in the middle,
and I need to get back home.
Leave
and I'm
it.
just like, oh my God, I want to fix this so bad. And it's like, but Jocelyn, they have people to do that.
Literally someone's job.
They have people to
literally do it. Entire job.
But I wanted to do it so bad. And I have done it before when it was like the first or second cart, but
I need help. It's not good.
I
do that at work. I go, oh, this is an easy fix. Yeah. And I'm like, now wait a minute, girl. You
doing too much.
Scale it back now.
So again, here are I asked again, how do you know when to shift careers? And I got 5 things.
What does the Google say?
It says the big ones is when you're consistently feeling burnt out.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Feeling unchallenged.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Poor work-life balance. Feeling undervalued / invisible in your current role. And then personal values no longer align with job responsibilities.
My thing is number 4. Okay. Being undervalued, I think that's separate than being invisible. I don't know why they got that slash there. Those are two entirely different. Because a lot of people feel undervalued. They are very visible. That's the problem. They too damn visible. Everybody see their ass and everybody want a piece. I don't think. Now, being invisible, I could say because in some roles, you just typing away. You doing all the work and like that one lady that died at her job and no one knew she died. She was in the office building for days. That's crazy.
See, I think you're taking invisible as a literal thing. I think there is overlap between undervalue and invisible.
Yeah, they don't see your value.
Because, they don't see your value. And even though you are a high performer and everybody wants you to do stuff for them, they don't want your opinion.
Yeah.
They don't want your opinion. They don't want you to talk. They just want you to do it. And that's when you start to feel invisible. It's like, okay, so they only see me when they want me to do the work.
When it's time for some high performance work now.
They don't want me to actually speak.
So don't. I'm not in the
like
meeting.
Kids. Kids are meant to be seen, not heard. Like that situation.
Girl, you can't say that nowadays. CPS come knock your goddamn door down.
But I mean, should they have really been saying it back then?
No.
But it's, to me, that is kind of the same thing. Is just do the work. Just shut up and do it.
Which is so disrespectful. I
mean, literally.
Ooh, that's so disrespectful.
I have been in meetings where someone was talking about a contract that I am the manager for.
Like you were not there.
And talking about how they are bidding on this new project and we're doing this. And all I asked was, hey, can you make sure to put me on the emails with this so that I'm at least aware?
Because y'all gonna give me all the problems. We already know what's gonna happen. I'll be sitting there like.
The person proceeds to tell me, okay, with a stank look on their face, by the way. Then, a couple weeks later, another meeting. She's like, oh, yeah, we got the kickoff call coming up.
Where was my invite to that kickoff call?
I'm not even on the kickoff call.
For much that you gonna want me to manage.
I'm not even on the kickoff call.
She be playing though.
So I was just like, okay. So
don't come to me with problems then.
And you know that's what happened.
Call old girl then. Call old girl. Don't call me.
You know that's what happened. Because it now has things that we never did before that needs to be done. And I'm just like.
And now they want you to fix it all. You like the very person y'all shut out of all of the process. Now you want me to be Mr. Cleanup in this piece.
And I didn't. But yeah, like so I think there can be overlap between undervalued and invisible, but you can also have them separately.
They can be
two
separate things.
They can be 2 separate things, and they can be overlapping
two
things.
Separate problems.
And I will tell you this: if they become overlapping things,
just go.
It's time.
Forget the quiet quit. Just actually quit at that
start
time.
Looking for something else. It's time. It is time. So I don't know if we actually, covered exactly what the viewer wanted in this episode, but we did cover a lot.
We be talking.
And I be vibing. And this was a good conversation.
We said what we
said. What we said.
We was halfway on topic. I'm sorry if you didn't get what you. We didn't mean for it to be that.
Burnout and quiet quitting. And these are only the first 2 topics on, your jobs and leaving no more staying
jobs
or
are
whatever.
Such a huge part of people's lives. We spend more time at work than we do at home. So,
well, not now since we, everybody's trying to go remote now, but
they're still technically supposed to be at work. Now, was I working that much? Oh, I did a third of the work when I was at home, baby. I was taking naps, making dinner.
And most people do, regardless of what they say.
Because when you're at home, you don't have to pretend to be busy in case somebody's watching. You could just knock it out.
If somebody Teams is constantly every 5 minutes is saying they away,
they got a better system. I found a way around that. But anyway, I was like, mine always finna be green, baby.
People are so hard to get a hold of when they are remote, and it annoys the living hell out of them.
But that's because they're not doing it right. You still are, and if you're doing shit you ain't got no business, have your messages and your Teams on your phone. Have some damn sense. So that way, even if you are at Costco, you can still get the IM when they ask you a question and you can immediately respond. Okay? Have some sense about it. Don't just be away, like for real away. At 10:30 in the morning, your lunch is at 1. Can we have more sense than that?
You literally only been online for an hour and a half. What are you doing?
Can we have more sense than that? So. But that's why all y'all got sent back home for the most part, because y'all was playing and y'all was doing too much. But anywho, because I hate it. I was like, I have a question and no one's responding. I have someone on the phone. Help. Help.
Well, hopefully, like I said, we touched on some of the things that spooky Black woman wanted to talk about. I hope so.
If not, I'm sorry.
But this will be a 2-part thing, because we got some more things, topics on the topic of jobs, and
it's a lot,
everything to discuss. So yeah, as per usual, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for vibing with us. Thank you for hanging out with us. Yes. We really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you to the people that send us things, or those that responded
thank you
to our message. We are at over 160 subscribers now.
We get up there.
Hopefully we get to that 200 this month. I can't wait.
So excited.
I'm so excited to see. Thank you for the engagement. We do want to see more people, interacting on our audio platforms. So if you if you listen to podcasts on any of those platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, make sure you
review us,
give us a rating. That would be great.
Yes, that'd be wonderful.
Because that will also help push us along in the discoverability of our podcast. It tells that platform to promote us. So if you could do that, that would be great. But other than that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, and engage. And
engagement is how we move forward.
It is. But we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Deuces.